All right, yay! I'm so excited. Yay, yay, yay. Happy Wednesday and welcome everyone to our first official Beverages and Boss Babes. I have my water. I'm being a grandma tonight, but I am so pumped and I'm so excited and I'm so grateful that you guys are all here. For those of you that are watching this live, I'm so thankful for that you took the time, and those of you who are watching the recording, I'm so thankful for you. I'm really excited about tonight. So, of course, you guys are all here because we are going to be talking all about coaching tonight. So some of you may be familiar with what we do. Some of you are familiar with Beachbody, but some of you might really still kind of like not have a clue. Okay, so obviously Beachbody, we have these incredible programs, right? So as coaches, we get people set up with these world-class super trainers, workouts, things that, obviously some people have heard about these workout programs, but some of them haven't. We get them set up with fitness, but we also get them set up with these incredible products. We have an amazing line of products that are all natural and plant-based and just super high quality. So of course we have those things, but what is so special about what we do as coaches is that we literally are just living proof of what that journey looks like. We are setting that example. We are walking 2 steps ahead of the people that are watching us. That's literally how I like to think about this, is that we are just people that happen to be 2 steps ahead of the person that we are trying to help. We're just showing them in our unique way what our life is like and what this looks like for us. So of course we have the products, we have the tools, we have all these resources, but as coaches, we are so unique. And that is what's so special about tonight, is you're going to get to hear from every single, 6 different women about where they were when they started, when they were introduced to Beachbody, and what it was that sparked them to get into coaching, what inspired them, and what has that done for their life. Okay, so just really quickly, I'm going to give you my little story and then I'm going to pass it off to Allie. But pretty much in a nutshell, I have been a coach. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Amy Arner. I am 30 years old, which is weird to say. I am newly married. I have been married to my husband, Nate, for a little over a year now. He is a union lineman. I'm a dog mom to 2 pups. And I officially can say that I am a retired nurse. I retired officially this last July. I've been a nurse for it was 7 years, I think, in June. So my story, I have been coaching a little over 2 years. But I did not join this community, start Beachbody as a working coach. Where I was when I started was I had just moved in with Nate. I, again, was about 5 years into my nursing career, and I thought that I had it all figured out. I thought I was set and I really wasn't. I got the job that I thought was going to bring me my dream hours. I met my back then boyfriend, but soon to be husband. We started living in this house that we're living in right now, and everything seemed to be falling into place for me, except I still felt stuck. The best way that I can describe it is that I just had the perfect image, but I didn't feel the happiness that I knew that I deserved and I always craved to feel. I was burnt out with my job, even though very quickly I realized it wasn't going to work out with that I couldn't see a future with it, with our life, with the kind of family life I wanted to have. I wanted that freedom. I was $10,000 in credit card debt from, poor choices that I made over the previous years, on top of my, 20 plus thousand of student loans. And I really had no good plan. I've always been active, always been in sports. And honestly, exercise was the thing that I used to maintain some sort of sense of control in my life. But at that point in my life, when everything seemed to be falling into place, I was so scared of losing it that I ended up just completely sort of falling apart on the inside. I started to put everything else ahead of myself. I started to not, put off those runs or exercise, those workouts and things that I had relied on for so long as an outlet, because I was burnt out. I was, my schedule wasn't getting any better, and I was taking on these new responsibilities as, being with Nate and, living out, building this life. And I just had no balance. I had no idea of how to, really feel good in my life and have that control. And that's when Beachbody stepped in. My coach reached out to me. She was a fellow nurse, and she, was also hypothyroid. That's just a little side note. I'm also hypothyroid. She reached out to me and she invited me to her wellness community. And at the time, you guys, I was so freaking like, what the frick is a wellness community? And I've always been a bit of a loner. I've always done everything on my own, including fitness. So when it came to being a part of a community, I was probably your number one skeptic. And on top of that, I was hugely against the price. Like, so scared to, again, with that $10,000 of credit card debt, I would go walk into Target and drop $200, no problem. But at the time, like, I knew like that wasn't the life I wanted. I was so scared to like make that investment, even though it was in myself. But after some hemming and hawing and just watching and, being this, watching from the sidelines like we all do, I just realized like, what do I have to lose? And I ended up just going for it. And I can still feel that feeling that I had in my stomach when I hit submit and I signed up. And it literally was the catalyst for where I am today. I signed up as a discount coach just for the discount on the products. But those next 3 months, I fell in love. I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the sense of freedom that all these workouts and this everything it gave to me. I realized what I was missing. I wasn't taking care of myself holistically, even though like that's always been such a passion of mine. I wasn't applying it to myself. And I fell in love with the community above all else. Like I fell in love with it. And, about 3 months in, that was when I had this like overwhelming feeling after watching these coaches that I had been creeping on at this point, that I started to follow. I saw them all go to Summit, which is our annual yearly event. And that was when I knew that I just had to try this. Like I couldn't keep going without knowing why not me? Could I do this? And that's really where I haven't turned back from that decision. I feel like that flipped a switch in me. And ever since I made that decision to become a coach, an actual working coach, I really, truly have just held on to that decision that this will work. And since then, I have paid off that $10,000 of credit card debt while planning our wedding. Side note, I started coaching the month later we got engaged. So the whole first year of my coaching was me planning a wedding and getting married and working full time. So just to show you that it can be done. And that next summer, I paid off that $10,000 credit card debt. And in that next year, I was able to start matching my nursing income, where I finally made the decision to step back from nursing and go per diem. And since then, this past July, I officially stepped back to coach full time. So now we're moving 2 days and I do this full time, and my days are literally designed by me. And I couldn't imagine where I would be if this opportunity hadn't come along. So that's my story. I'm going to cut her off and I'm going to pass it on to Allie. I'm going to unmute you, Allie. Okay, you're good.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. I'm Allie. I'm from Portland, Oregon, so far away from the rest of them. But I'm a dog mom. I'm a medical assistant. I've been in high-risk OB for about 4 years now, and I live with my boyfriend. My life looked a lot different before I started coaching. I had been in school part-time because I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And I was also working full-time in a clinic, 40 hours a week, and just trying to balance all of the things. I was super stressed out, super anxious, and I had fallen into a depression and just could not pull myself out of it. I had tried life before Beachbody. I was a coach before, and I decided that I was going to quit and do the gym thing and try to do it on my own. And I realized that I did not have the motivation to do that. So my friend Caitlin reached out to me in October, so it's been a year, and she said, "Hey, will you join my group?" I said no for like 3 months, I think. And finally, I was like, okay, I need something in my life to help me get out of this funk that I'm in, to help me, get back to health and fitness. I had gained like, I don't even know how much weight because I don't step on the scale, but I had gained a lot of weight. I was super uncomfortable with my body, and I knew this is what I needed. So I joined her group, and I didn't really go all in till about January when I decided that I was going to make this work for me. I was going to commit to the program, and I was just going to give it a real shot and not dilly-dally. So then in January, I remember sitting in my office, and I was supposed to be studying, and I had like the weirdest feeling that I just needed to coach. And I put it off for a couple days, and I was like, no, I don't want to coach again. I don't want to coach again. And finally, I gave into the feeling, and I texted my coach, Caitlin, at the time, and I told her that I wanted to be a part of the community and I wanted to coach. And at this point, I had seen Caitlin go to New York and go to a retreat with everybody, and it just looked so fun. And I knew that I needed a community of people that would, one, keep me accountable, and to also have friends that were on the same path as me. Kind of in those awkward years, I'm 25, and I had a lot of friends, and I still have a lot of friends that aren't on the same path as I am headed, and I just felt like I needed those people that were going to be my people and understand why I put so much time and effort into my health and fitness, and maybe not people that drink every weekend and go partying, and I was just ready to be out of that scene. So here I am almost a year later, and yeah, coaching has been the biggest blessing to me. I have been able to keep up with my journey, and I am just so thankful that I joined this community because I really don't know where my life would be if I didn't say yes.
Yay! Sorry, I like muted you right. Okay, so I guess I'm looking at Ashley, so I'm gonna have Ashley go next.
I knew you were going to do that. So I'm Ashley. I'm from Honeywell, New York, and I'm a general accountant for a railroad and also a part-time bartender. I am currently engaged to my fiance Travis, and so I'm planning my 2020 wedding. My heart's racing so much. Can I just say that? I'm also over a year sober, which I mention that because it has played a large part in the coaching business for me. Before Beachbody, I'm sweating now, so before Beachbody, I was 40 pounds overweight, and I was at my literal rock bottom. I was the heaviest I'd ever been, and I was just completely unhappy. I was going to the gym probably 4 to 5 times a week, but it really wasn't doing anything. I was eating horribly anyways. So I decided to give Beachbody a try because I had nothing else to lose. After doing a few of the Beachbody programs, I saw a lot of great results, and I was already signed up as a coach for the discount. So I decided to give coaching a try. I ended up bailing on coaching shortly after. I felt like it was too hard and I wasn't handling the rejections well. And I honestly wasn't in the right headspace. And I wasn't treating it like a business the first time around at all. I was just treating it like a hobby, basically. I still continued to do my workouts after quitting the coaching. I wasn't participating in any challenge groups. I lost my place. I felt like I was kind of just going through the motions, not really. I was in a really big funk. I had been creeping on Amy, and I saw her and her team go to Summit, and that really gave me the itch. I knew I was missing something in my life. It was the connection, the community part. I was feeling like, well, I didn't fit in anywhere. I have friends, obviously, but they're, like Allie said, they're not on the same path as I am. So I knew I was craving a bit more from life. So I reached back out to Amy at the end of July. I was ready to make the change and treat this like a business, and ready to build a bigger life of happiness and freedom. I've come into coaching this time around completely open-minded and willing to put in the work. I've definitely had days and weeks where I've really struggled, but I have found that, like, this is exactly what I was missing in life. I've definitely feel like I've found a group of women that get me, and knowing that I'm helping women find the programs that change my life so much means a lot. So, and then my last little point, just to make this come full circle, don't laugh at me, just to make this come full circle, the work that I've put in the last 3 months has earned me a free ticket to Summit in New Orleans, and that's the exact event that I watched Amy go to and had complete FOMO over. So that's what I got.
Okay, am I unmuted? Okay.
Now you are.
All right, Erin, I'm looking at you.
Okay.
Oh no, I keep hitting it. Okay, you hit it. I'm done. You hit it.
Okay. Now can you hear me? Okay. So hi everyone, my name's Erin. I'm 26. I live in the Bay Area, like 20 miles south of San Francisco, where I was before coaching. First let me start off by telling you what I do. I'm a nurse up here, and I work per diem. So right now I'm working about 3 days a week. I do 3 8-hour shifts a week. And previously I was in NP school and working 4 days a week, commuting 2 hours, 3 hours round trip, and just really had gotten to a point where I put my health, my relationships on the back burner. So decided to move closer to work, and then decided to go per diem. And then kind of was one of those people who I had tried so many gym memberships, like, Core Power, boutique yoga studios. I had done spin, I had done the gym thing, like trying to do it on my own. And I don't know, I felt like with Core Power, I really loved it, but I just really lacked the consistency to ever get any kind of result. And I was paying $160 a month. So I'd like go 2 days in a row, love it, and be like, I'm gonna stick with this, and then totally fall off track over the weekend and just not go back, and then have this like constant yo-yoing of like regret. Why am I paying all this? And then I'm constantly feeling frustrated and disappointed in myself. So after like a couple, I think maybe 3 times of Amy asking me to do a boot camp, I finally was just like, what do I have to lose? Like, seriously, the boot camp costs the same as like my monthly membership. So I did it, and the first program I did was Lift 4, and I also happened to find out I was pregnant, which was really exciting. But just everything going on, and I didn't really dive fully into it. Like, I think Lift 4 took me double the time that it's supposed to take. But I did it, and it wasn't until I decided to coach after having like a really, really horrible stint of shifts where I just felt completely, like, I felt like I lacked autonomy. I felt like I was tied to my work. I didn't have control over my life. I just felt really disappointed with how I was being treated by management, and seeing Amy having just quit her nursing job, I just figured, well, even if I can step back a little bit and have a little bit more control over my own schedule, maybe that'll make things different. At a minimum, I'm liking the programs. I can get my shakes paid for. So I reached out to her and started. I started coaching in August, or no, I think beginning of August, something like that. And from that moment on, I've really dived in, like, committed to my workouts. I've seen the best results for myself physically and mentally. I feel like even being pregnant and being like a weight I've never been, the confidence that I have is something that I feel like I even hear from other people. Like, you look like you're so happy, and it's because I am. And really, I attribute that to coaching, and it's just helped me kind of, I guess, gain a bigger sense of authenticity, especially with my online presence. Like, that was the biggest part of coaching that made me so nervous, was like, what are people going to think about my post, or like me sharing this? And coaching has kind of really made me more of a people person, and it's made me kind of care less about the things that other people might think about me, because what I'm putting out there is things that I care about. And if people care to follow that, then, and it motivates them and inspires them, then that makes me happy. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and a couple months into the coaching journey, and I'm loving it, and looking forward to having my baby girl in December. Maybe it's something that I can continue to do, and right now it helps me like buy her extra clothes and frills. And the other day we came home from vacation and there was an unexpected bill, and I was able to pay that off with my coaching income, but maybe down the line I can be home with her more. So I'm really excited for the opportunity that coaching has offered me so far.
Yay! Okay, Shannon, I just saw you move, so I'm gonna pick on you next. All right, you're unmuted. I can't hear you. Okay, Shay, I'm gonna have you go, and Shannon, maybe you should log off, log back on. Okay.
Okay, we're good? Okay, so I am Shay. I am going to be 29 next month. I am a dog mom, a full-time cardiovascular ICU nurse. I live in South Texas, but I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. Hallie. So before I started coaching, I had just graduated nursing school. I landed my dream job. I thought that was supposed to make me happy. And then just watching Amy with her fitness routine, just living the life that she craved and she dreamed, that was something that was missing in my life. And it did take me a few times to say, she invited me a few times before I said yes. But the thing that made me like finally hit submit was seeing one of her transformation pictures on Facebook, and she talked about like binge eating. So for me, like I've always been consistent in the gym, but eating has been a huge thing for me. So like for comfort, just been a big yo-yo dieter. My weight has fluctuated dramatically over the years. So just to be able to let go of that and not go to food for comfort has been a huge thing for me. But coaching has done so many things for me, but I'll just list a few. So the community has been the biggest part. I am an introvert. I am a loner. Although I can be very outgoing, like I like my space. And there's very few people that I'll let in. So just the community alone has completely changed my life, and being able to travel with them, and just like Ashley and Allie said, you know, being with those people who have the same vision as you, who are wanting to do more with their lives, right? Because in nursing, you can just get stuck in this mindset. Like this is all there is. Like, and that's kind of where I was at. Like, is this really all there is? Like, I've worked so hard to get up to this point, and like, is this it? Like, am I going to be working all holidays, nights, being away from my family, not being able to travel when I want to? Like, is this really it? So that was, you know, the catalyst for me. And then my transformation, like, yes, I've had a big physical transformation, but my mental transformation and my confidence and being able to overcome like hard things in life, like that has been the biggest thing for me. So I would never go back. Coaching has completely changed my life.
Yay. So I'm scared, Shannon. Will you work? Wait. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yay.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with my computer. I logged in on my phone just in case. So, all right. So my name is Shannon. I live in basically the same area as Amy and Ashley around Bloomfield, Honeoye. I am also a nurse. I'm a dog mom. I have 2 dogs. I'm a cat mom. I live with my boyfriend, Dan, and I think that's it for my life. So coaching, I joined in April of 2018. So it's been about a year and a half. And at the time of coaching, I was a full-time nurse. I was working at a hospital doing 312s plus overtime because I needed money. I was working towards my bachelor's degree also. I was doing like a complete online program, and I was going full-time with that, even though everyone told me not to, but I just wanted to get it done and out of the way. And then I was still working part-time at like a local restaurant that is around here. So I was waitressing, I don't know, like maybe like 1 or 2 days a week, but still it was a lot. So I was super busy. My days off literally consisted of going to the bar. The restaurant that I waitressed at, I feel like I lived there, and I absolutely hated that. And I remember getting to a point like thinking to myself, like, what are you doing? Like, you're literally becoming one of these like local people from town that just goes and sits at the bar on the evenings. And I was like super ashamed of myself. And so I realized I was doing that every night. I was eating terribly because I was at the bar all the time. So I was eating like fried food, chicken fingers, mozzarella sticks. And before you knew it, I had gained like probably 25 pounds since like out of nursing school. So it was just not good. Let's see. So where I was before, I think that I found Beachbody on Instagram. I think I started following a coach and creeped hardcore on her life, and then kind of found other coaches as well, and was just didn't really know what it was, but thought like, how awesome are these women that they're working from home and they're making a ton of money, and they get to work on themselves like as their job. And I thought that was really cool. So I kept creeping, and eventually I got that invitation to join the boot camp. And I, of course, said no, like the first 3 times I think that they asked me. Kept watching though, and basically wishing that I could have her life. And then I finally decided to join. I started with 80-day obsession. And I think with that first one, I want to say I lost like 10 to 15 pounds with 80-day obsession. Like I dove right in with it, went with a nutrition plan, worked out every single day, and just kind of realized like what I was missing out on with doing this and not going to the bar all the time. I kind of felt at that point I was just going through life and didn't really have a purpose, I guess, because I wasn't really doing anything meaningful. So, and I think too with the Beachbody, I liked the whole aspect of having the team, because I was a big sports person in high school. I was always a part of a team. And I think that's what motivates me, because I definitely tried, like a bunch of you guys have said, doing the gym by yourself, going to different classes, and I never, ever stick with it. Like I need that team motivation to stay with it. So that's one of my biggest things that I love about this community. And then let's see, what has coaching done for me other than helping me lose weight, get a hold of my nutrition, not be going to the bar all the time. And I feel like now I actually have more purpose in life, especially since I get to share this with other people. And I think I did forget to mention, I had coached before with Amy, and I ended up quitting, and I regret every second of it, because I just wish I didn't do it. Like I definitely missed it, and it kind of took away all my accountability. I still did the workouts, but it just wasn't the same. I was missing that community part. So I restarted up again, and now I just feel so different about it this time, kind of like what Allie said. I used to be nervous about kind of inviting people or telling them about this, but now to me, this is like, I feel like this is a gift. Like this is literally the best possible thing that you can get. It is the cheapest fitness and training that you can get, nutritional based stuff, like everything you get in one area, and you get a community full of women. So I don't feel ashamed to ask people anymore. And if they don't want to do it, then to me, they're just missing out on it. So I think that's it. And coaching the last 3 months, I got to pay off my credit card. So that's it.
That's amazing. Okay, so dun, 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 Rachel, your turn.
Okay. Am I on? Okay. So my name's Rachel, and I'm 32. I'm originally from Victor, but moved to Gorham, New York with my now fiance because we got engaged in August of this year. I have a boy who is 11, and I just can't get over it. I can't believe I'm going to have a teenager in just a couple of years. It blows my mind. But I'm also a full-time stenographer, so I'm in the medical field. I feel like so many people are nurses, but I mean, I'm still in the field, but I do ultrasounds all day, and I actually do enjoy my job, but there's so many things about my job that I don't like. I love ultrasound in general, but working with patients can just be very tiring, and the hours. I've always dreamed of being able to at least be a part-time stay-at-home mom, be able to stay home with my kids and be there for them. I just remember like when Jordan was little, I was in college. I did college for 6 years, and I missed out on so many things. So I was working, I was also in college, and I started college when Jordan was about 1. But there was so many times he would ask me, like, Mom, are you able to do this? Like at school, they would have all these things where parents would come, and I'd always think to myself, how are all these parents able to come? Like, don't any of them work? Because I could never make any of it. And it was like so upsetting to me, because I felt like every time he'd ask me, I'd always say no. I'm surprised he even kept asking, honestly, because every time I said no because I couldn't, because I had to work and I wasn't able to like have the availability to just take off like that soon. Like I would need to give over a month in advance. So I think honestly, what drew me to this is the fact of having more freedom and being able to stay home with my kids. Sorry, I'm going out of order, but I also wanted to mention how much I love donuts and ice cream because those are my two favorite things. But also, like where I was before Beachbody, I've always been kind of active. When I was younger and growing up, I always had a weight problem. It wasn't until I was about, I think, freshman in high school. I just was so sick of being overweight, and I ran literally every single night around the block, and my mom hated it because it was nighttime and nobody could see me. She'd always say, "Do you have something bright on?" But I was a teenager and I just totally gave her attitude. But it didn't matter if it was snowing, raining, whatever. I ran every single night and I ended up losing weight. And I, was better with my weight throughout high school, but I still always struggled. It was such a struggle for me. And my mom, I always grew up watching her work out. So I think having her, like seeing her do workouts kind of like gave me that sort of little influence. And I enjoyed the gym. Like once I graduated and I ended up pregnant, and then I don't know what you've seen in my stuff, but I did gain a lot of weight with Jordan. I was over 200 pounds. It took me so long to lose the weight because I invested like every single second of my spending with him. I just like, I don't know, I just felt guilty doing anything for myself. And I ended up like 4 years after having him, I really started to get back into it, going to the gym, losing weight. And I stayed pretty healthy. And then I broke my leg. So February this year, I broke my leg and I couldn't really do anything physically. So I gained weight. I was super upset about it. And I've always felt like whenever I gain weight, I get so upset about it that it affects every part of my life. Like my relationship with Chris, it was affecting that because I was so unhappy with myself and so unhappy with my body that I was always complaining to him like about how my clothes fit, or I was just miserable. And there was times that I was happy, obviously, but it projected onto everything and everyone in my life. And I just remember like Amy messaged me on Instagram, and at that time I was still recovering from my leg. And I kind of thought, once I recover, I'm just going to do my own thing at the gym. I'm going to I told her that I was going to sign up right away, but I really in my mind was like, I've always done it on my own because I've always I'm not a loner, but like, I had never really had a lot of friends. I didn't really care to add any more friends. I always thought like it's so time consuming to keep relationships. And I had like a couple of, close friends, one that I talked to like every single day. And I'll get into that in a second. But so, I was just going to do my own thing at the gym, and I started to, and I wasn't seeing results like I used to. So I knew either I was just not putting in effort or my body just wasn't responding because I was doing like the same things that I had been doing before, and it just needed to change. So also during this time, my best friend of so many years, we ended up it seems so off topic, but honestly, this is part of why I joined Beachbody. I put all my effort into this one relationship with my best friend since I was like 12. And she was the only friend I like stayed in touch with after high school. And we kind of had this like weird argument that turned into us not talking like all. We talked every single morning on my way to work, and it was just awful. Like I felt so alone. I mean, obviously I had Chris, but this was the girl that I talked to every single day, every single morning, probably after work. Like literally, we didn't see each other a lot. We still don't, but we just are so busy. But we just would talk all the time, and having nobody to talk to in the morning, or I sat in silence, and it just was so lonely. And I realized in that moment, because Amy messaged me again, because she kept messaging me. She messaged me again, and you know what? I finally said yes, because, and I don't think this is the only reason, but in that moment of being like lonely and like vulnerable and just feeling like I didn't have any real friendships, and it was almost to the point where I thought I was gonna we weren't gonna be friends, me and that girl, for the rest of our lives. Like that was going to be it. Our friendship was over. And that's when I realized, like, I put all my effort into one friendship, and what am I going to do if like that goes away? So then I started to feel like, you know what, I really got to put time and effort into maybe other friendships. And Amy reminded me so much of one of my girlfriends who, like, soul sister girlfriend who moved away, and she moved to Rhode Island. But just like her energy and just, I don't know what it was, just everything just reminded me of this girl. And we're still very, very close. She doesn't live nearby, and oh my God, it breaks my heart that I had to let her go. But we still talk sometimes. But anyway, so Amy reminded me of her. And I just was like, feeling like she is like here for a reason. She came in my life sort of at this like rough period of time where I wasn't really, like, me and my girlfriend weren't really talking. You know, I wasn't seeing changes in the gym. And she reminded me of one of my very best friends who moved away. And it just seemed like I just had to say yes. And you know what I did? There was so many other like things I was before Beachbody, like insecure. I lacked so much confidence. I lacked self-worth. I still lack a lot of stuff, but it's getting better. And, you know, I've grown so much mentally, and I didn't have a lot of weight to lose per se. Like I always just wanted to lose like 5, maybe 10 pounds, but it was more like just all internal. So I've always enjoyed helping others too. But when I got the ultrasound job, I realized that that wasn't really necessarily the way I wanted to help others. Like, it does make me feel good when I help a patient, but it's just different with coaching. Like, I just want everybody to feel like as good as I feel now. Trust me, there's still days where I do not feel good, but in general, like, I feel so much better after starting Beachbody and like doing these programs and doing the podcast. That has been a huge game changer for me because I didn't even know what a podcast was. I didn't know how to get into a podcast. I didn't know anything about podcasts. And the fact that that was introduced to me and I'm like listening to those on a daily basis has just like helped me tremendously. And I don't know, I feel like if it wasn't for podcasts and like Beachbody, I don't really know. I would probably be still in like this like life, I'm Jordan's mom, and I really don't hate my job, but it's just given me so much more. Like, I guess I just thought I, you know, had it all, but I didn't. And I just am so glad for Beachbody because it has given me like that thing that was missing. Debt was also a huge thing for me because Amy would always talk about her debt. And when I bought my townhouse, I literally put I'm trying to be quiet so Chris doesn't hear me, but I literally put all of my home decor, everything that filled my townhouse, the paint that's on the walls, I put it all on a credit card because I just wanted everything to be perfect before I moved in. And before that, I had like a few $1,000s in credit card debt just from clothes. Like Amy has explained that she would buy things just to try and like fill these voids, like this, you know, short period of happiness when you buy like clothes that you're literally not even going to wear in a few months. Well, that's me anyways, because then I feel like I need new clothes and then I don't like those clothes anymore. So it just like the debt thing was huge for me. So, and student loans. So I definitely have student loans still, which is getting better. So I'm so happy about that. But so financial freedom, and freedom in my time to just have with my kids and to be able to say yes when they ask me to go to something at school. That is honestly like my why. And just, you know, being able to be there for the family and my growing family. And I'm a dog mom. I didn't mention that, but I'd love to have more puppies. And we can't have more puppies unless I can be home because Chris won't let us. So I really need to just be able to stay home to have all the puppies. But it says, I just wrote down like notes, and it just said what coaching has done for me. And I'd say the biggest thing is growth, because this has just been amazing. And I, you know, so grateful for the opportunity and, you know, what it's going to give to me in the future and my family. So that's all I got for you.
Oh my God. Oh, I love it. Oh my God, you crack me up so much. I know, she's so funny. I am just blown away. Like, I obviously know all of you, but just hearing you all share your story and just your words, like what taking it back to like where you were when you joined and what it's done for you, like I feel like we're all so different. Like, I know we have so many similarities, but yet, like, where we were and what like we're going through, like the seasons of life that we're in and things like that, like there's parallels, but we were so different. But I feel like listening to everyone's story, I think I like picked out like there's one common theme, and like it feels like we all just felt like we were missing something. Like we had these things, like a lot of us had fitness, a lot of us had fitness going, or like we had something like going for ourselves. But like I know for me, like this truly, the community and what it's shown me, like Rachel said, how to like the personal development piece and just the fact that like it's not just about right now, it's about who we want to become and like the daily work that we do every day to get there, and like that's the gift. And like Shannon said, like I truly believe that this is a gift, and this is like I don't feel ashamed anymore. I don't feel salesy. I don't feel, a lot of those like objections that people have like about being afraid to want, not being like afraid that they're going to be salesy or like that they're selling something. Like you can't sell something that, or you can't be salesy when what you actually are doing is so amazing, like, and has actually changed your own life. You know what I mean? So I'm so thankful and I'm so privileged to just be a part of this with you all. And I don't know, I'm just so blown away. But I don't think we have any questions unless Taylor has any questions. Is she there? Are you there, Taylor? Are you naked? But if no one has any questions, then I won't keep you guys. I so appreciate you all taking the time tonight. And for those of you watching, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope maybe we will see you again soon on one of our team calls. And please be sure to reach out to whoever invited you, hooked you up with this recording tonight. And I can't wait to see you all later. Bye, guys.